Hey guys, welcome back to APM Scootering. I'm going to go over an issue that I've been working with my buddy Mike from NCY. He put in an aftermarket alarm remote start. I know a lot of guys aren't favorable with putting those on because they say they drain the battery and whatnot, but he couldn't get it to start. So a couple issues popped up, and I'll explain a couple things with you here, and then further down in another video I'll go into detail. The Zen scooters or Zen scooters use a DC CDI. That's what this piece is right here. All right, so it's basically the communications. You have your 12-volt ignition, your coil wire, your kill switch, your ground, and your stator pickup. It's a pretty simplistic setup. Now what I'm showing you here is this is the Bangjing CDI coil combination. So it doesn't look like this. I actually made this cable. It's a plug-and-play cable. So what I can do anytime is the original CDI plugs are right here. I can disconnect them and plug them back into the original CDI, disconnect the ignition coil from the spark plug, and then just go back to using the original ignition coil. Now, I could not get mine to work either, my factory remote start, so it was kind of bugging me no matter what I tried. So as you see down here, I got a weather pack relay. I was going to actually make this is a temporary, I was actually going to make a relay coil to initiate the starter solenoid. And if you take a look down, you'll see the starter solenoid is right here. Okay, so you have your 12 volt, and then you have your relay that switches over 12 volts. Down here turns the starter motor. Now, this being a 170cc engine, I used a high torque Bangjing starter motor. And you can see it, it's black down there. It says Bangjing on it. And that's for the bigger engines. Yeah, you can kind of see it there in the corner. Sorry, we're trying to get a good picture for you. I'm gonna grab the original one here and show you that I actually replaced it back with the original. You want to get a shot of that for me? That's the original starter motor, and the scooter still would not start. So I was pretty frustrated. The relays weren't working. Well, I could make them work, but why do that? So I went back up here to the front of the scooter, and this is the security system. Now, on a lot of the newer models, mine's a 2017, it comes pre-wired, and that's this plug right here. So you have a red, or yellow and red, starter wire, right? So what that does is initiate you squeezing the brake levers and pressing your start switch on the scooter, okay? Like you're gonna normally start it. But with the aftermarket parts, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I might need to add a relay to this wire, which let me show you. My wife's gonna follow you around. It's actually, she can take a look. It's actually this 2-pin plug here, okay? So this is the actual starter wire, the actual same brake lever. You push the brake lever, gives you voltage. Now you're going to see that there's a yellow-green wire that does the same thing. I'm going to move my finger out of the way so you can see it. So it's yellow-red and yellow-green. Well, it wouldn't start. So I put the original starter back in, well actually put the original starter back in and put everything back to factory, and still couldn't get this thing to start. So you might be wondering, well, you know, why do you have your body panel back on? Well, I noticed the wire wasn't connected. I noticed the harness wasn't connected. And it's this harness with the number 6 on it. And guess what wire is inside that harness? I'm pointing my finger there, yellow-green, and it has continuity with the yellow-green on the starter relay. So the circuit wasn't complete. So as soon as I plugged in the body panel with the original starter and the original coil, the bike fired right up with the remote start. So this little bastard right here was the reason that my scooter wouldn't start. And as you can see, it's the yellow green, and it is the same yellow green that's in this 2-pin plug right here. So when a circuit isn't complete, imagine a circle and then you cut a wire. Like imagine like you have a wire in a circle and you cut it. Well, the circuit's not going to be complete. So my circuit wasn't complete. So I said, you know what? Son of a bitch. Let me plug this thing in and see. So one thing I noticed was there's a difference with this CDI. If I go to start it right now, it's not going to start. Okay, so let me shut it down. If I flip it to the on switch and leave it on, voila! Problem solved. So completing the circuit, kill it. Completing this circuit was the issue. Now, I don't know quite what the Bangjing does with the kill switch, but I do know that the remote start will not work with the kill switch on. And I can't remember off the top of my head when I bought this thing whether or not it worked with the kill switch on or not. I thought it overrode it and allowed you to start it. But basically what happened with this whole thing, and the scenario I believe is happening with my friend Mike at NCY store, is the circuit isn't completed. So once I plugged in the rear tail light circuit, which actually has the yellow wire, yellow green, the same one that goes to the starter solenoid, that completed the circuit and allowed the scooter to start. You ready? So let's do it with the starter kill on. Okay, so starter kill on. Nothing. So let me shut it down. Put the starter kill back on. If you hear that beeping, that's the actual charger, the Shirai charger. All right, so voila. So 171 big bore kit Tata, the Bangjing starter coil combination. All the aftermarket parts, they are working in harmony. I just have to, if I want to use my starter, I have to turn the switch and leave it to the on position. So a little bit real quick here before we go, because I'm actually anxious to watch a Super Bowl. I am a Rams fan. Love me or hate me. A Rams fan from Pennsylvania. So again, I made my own plug. I can go more into depth to this at some time. But basically what I did was, I bought one of those cheap $9 CDIs. Didn't care if it was AC or not. Really? And then, that's the factory. So what I did was, I soldered my own ends on that you need for the Bangjing. You can take a look here. And this is TechFlex to protect the wiring. So now, I have a plug and play Bangjing CDI that I can simply, if anything ever goes wrong, I can simply go back to the original CDI box. But why would I? Because this thing's awesome. It's an awesome piece of equipment. So my friend Mike, if you're watching this is for you. Took me a while banging my head until I realized that, you know what, circuit's not completed. All that nonsense and coming up with relays, which obviously I could have made a large relay with a 60 amp fuse, and I could have kicked the starter that way. But really the whole time it was a circuit not being completed, which was causing the problem with my remote start not working. And the fact that I have to keep the starter switch on the on position. I really believe that has something to, I can't remember. I apologize, guys. I can't remember whether or not I could start it. I don't really use the feature that much, but it's nice to have. So with it in the on position, fire right up. I can't believe it was, I just can't believe it was a stupid taillight connector that didn't complete the circuit. Anyways, guys, a lot more stuff coming. I'm actually going to do a video on, I'm going to show you these wires right here. My wife's going to come in on them. I'm actually going to upgrade all the power wiring, the power and the grounds, to an 8-gauge wiring. And I'm also going to change this to an inline mini 15 amp fuse instead of those cheap ass glass fuses that's inside here. So look forward to that coming. We still got to do the carburetor, the OKO swap, 30 millimeter, and I'll talk about that with North Atlantic Trials and what I'm doing with the gentleman that runs that to help out anybody in the scooter business that wants an OKO carburetor. Not necessarily sell them. There's other guys that sell them. I'm gonna give a shout out to the Rock Shop because they actually sent me some pretty cool bolts to Allen heads to interchange on mine. Guys are really nice over there. And again, my friend Mike at NCY Store. And then soon to come, apmscootering.com. There'll be some electrical parts. This is what I do for a living, so I can sell some relays if guys do that kind of stuff. There'll be a whole bunch of scooter stuff there. Look for that coming soon. But anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I don't want to take any more of your time. I'm getting ready to go watch the Super Bowl. Go Rams. Thanks a lot. Mike, I hope this helps you out. You know how to get a hold of me. And we'll talk to you guys later, okay? See ya.